Okay, we're starting section 3.3, function notation. So this is your very first introduction to it. And it's a lot easier than you think it is. I'm just going to do this example here. Well, actually, I'll write the original. You're all familiar with y equals mx plus b. Another way to write the y is f of x. So this notation, by writing it as f of x, is called function notation. So this one, how would I say that? G of x. Good. And I need you to remember that that is exactly the same as y. Now, knowing that it's exactly the same as y means that it is also the output. It is also the range. All of these are the same. So you can see all the different names. Okay, so let's do this one. It says evaluate. This is example 1 on page 122. So if in your book, page 122, example 1. Evaluate f of x equals negative 4x plus 7 when x is 2 and x is negative 7. So watch how you're going to write this. I'm going to write it the way it should be. You're going to write f of 2. Oh, so that means I'm going to replace the x with 2. So everywhere you see x, you're going to replace it with 2. So negative 4, parentheses 2, plus 7. So f of 2 equals negative 8 plus 7, right? So f of 2 is going to equal negative 1. Okay, another way that you guys have seen this has been a table, input-output table. So that means when x is 2, what's y? Negative 1. Good. So now let's do the second one, negative 2. F of negative 2 equals negative 4 times negative 2 plus 7. Negative 4 times negative 2 is 8 plus 7, 15. So when x is negative 2, y is going to be 15. And if you were to plot this on a graph, you're going to see that it makes a straight line. Okay, so if you're watching this video, I want you to pause it and I want you to do monitoring progress 1. You're going to plug in 3 different inputs right here, and you're going to find 3 different outputs. And if you would like, you can also, oops, it's crooked, do it in a t-chart. So when x is negative 4, 0, and 3. Pause it and check your answers in the back of the book. I'm doing example 2 on page 122, interpreting function notation so you understand it. Okay, this first one. So let f of t be the outside temperature t hours after 6 a.m. So if this is 0 hours after 6 a.m., it means that at 6 a.m. it is 58 degrees outside. So t hours is 6 hours after 6 a.m. So that means at 12 p.m. it is n degrees outside. And then this one is 3 hours after. So that means at 9 a.m. it is colder than it is. So 9 hours after 6 a.m. is 3 p.m. So at 9 a.m. it is colder than 3 p.m. All right, so pause the video, do monitoring progress 3, and see if you check your answers in the back of the book. Okay, I'm now on page 123, and I'm doing example 3. And for some reason, kids have a hard time with this, and I'm hoping to explain this so you understand it. All right, so remember, how do I say this function notation? H of x. Okay, so h of x is also the same as y, right? So what we're going to do here is it says find the value of x. Oh, we're not finding the value of h of x. We're now finding the value of h of x when h of x is negative 7. So what you're going to do here is what you do all the time in math. You're going to substitute And instead of h of x, what am I going to write? Good. So let's rewrite it. Negative 7 equals 2/3 x minus 5. Now we have to solve for x. What do? Add 5 to both sides. Okay, so negative 2 is going to equal 2/3 x. This one, multiply by the reciprocal. Good. Multiply both sides by 3/2. Multiply by 3/2. So x is going to be negative 6/2, which you simplify to negative 3. So this time, instead of plugging in for x, you're going to plug in for y. And if you were doing a table, it would look something like this. First, we had to plug in. Remember, this is y is also h of x. So we're plugging in here first, solving it, and then finding out the input. Okay, so I want you to pause the video. I want you guys to work on monitoring progress 4 on your own. Check your answers in the back of the book, and monitoring progress 5.